All right, we are recording, and Val is doing the intro today.
I'm not.
You are. You said you were.
I lied.
You said you were. You did the intro for
Not going any further until we can do it.
to the Val and Traders. I mean, the Val and Pals.
I'm fucking not doing it now.
Wow.
Val and Traders.
So let it be known.
Okay.
Let it be known
Okay.
that the so-called takeover was not really a takeover. It was an allowance. We allowed.
Allow.
Yes.
You don't allow me to do shit.
Are you gonna do
Hi,
this?
y'all. Val here with Lucy. Shh. You're not a guest on this show right now. Shut your pie hole. Sorry.
Notice how
Yeah.
violent she's gotten since she joined us. We were a bad influence.
It's you. Today we have Obsolete 2003.
Yo.
Ringleader. Sorry.
Wow.
Ringleader 064. So sorry, Ring. And then, of course, the doofiest of doofs, Espionage DB7.
The one and only.
Don't do it.
I just said the one and only.
That's a good ring to it.
Wait a minute. What did she
Doofiest
call
of
me?
doofs,
I
or
wasn't,
the one,
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that one.
the doofiest of doofs.
Well, Obs is like Lord Doof. He's like,
No.
he's Lord. He's kind of like Lord of the Dance, but Lord of the Doof.
No.
And you didn't? Did you introduce yourself?
Godfather. Huh?
Did you introduce yourself?
I said Val here at the beginning,
Oh, okay.
and I said hi.
Okay, I'm
Was it-
just making sure.
This is why you are the doofiest of doofs.
Wow. This is not a title. This is not a thing.
Yes, it is. I vote it.
Second.
Huh?
I motion to deny. Therefore, since my vote carries the most weight of all, motion denied.
You don't get a say.
Yes, I do. Anyway,
No, I'm just here. I told you.
Obs don't mean crap.
Oh.
Obs is not like this omniscient being whose presence just supersedes all. Okay, I don't know where this.
I
whole...
beg to differ.
I beg to.
You can
I
beg all
beg for
you
you
want.
to settle down.
Can we get on with this?
Yeah, sure. We're
So-
just waiting on you, princess.
Wow. Okay. So
Kidding.
let me know that Val and Pals will never seize control of our shoot the shit again.
Yeah.
Even controls again.
Technically, it wasn't shoot the shit.
Well,
No.
we were on vacation, as she said, 2 weeks ago, and then this past week we didn't do it because obviously we had our big X7 event. It
Are you
went.
saying we're not going on vacation anymore?
Well, I'm on vacation all the time. Anyway, we want to thank everybody first and foremost for everybody who tuned in to our X7 Reprisal event. We want to thank all the X7 members who actually showed up. I know I saw Vanquish, Seiko, Dr. Irish Dan, Slinky, of course Obsolete, Doofsolete was there, Ringleader was there. Who else do we have pop in? That was
Thank you for Everlast for attempting to join.
Everlast attempted to join. Fireblade joined us in the Discord for a while. So it unfortunately wasn't as big of a turnout as I was hoping for, but I think everybody still had a good time. And we appreciate everybody who tuned in to watch, all of Val's pals. And
Thanks, guys.
and of course to Mr. Michael Coffey, as well as Joel. Is it Joe 56 or Joe 54? 56, right?
56.
Thank you to him for joining, and congratulations to Dr. Irish Dan, who actually won the t-shirt drawing. So I've already kind of gotten in touch with him as far as, arranging which shirt and all that he wants. But thank you for everybody who joined, and hopefully we'll see when we try to do another big event like that at some point in the future, maybe for our anniversary, which is coming up in August.
Yep.
But with that, I do want to talk to you guys about a very serious and sobering issue that is going on right now. This nation right now is gripped in the midst of a horrifying pandemic. Of course, I am talking about the Karen apocalypse. Because holy shit, they are coming out in exponential number. And this is all the Karen videos that you've been seeing, and whole new breeds. And I will say first and foremost, before everything, I don't like the name of Karen to describe these people because I feel bad for the ones that are actually named Karen. Like I've met a few real Karens in my life, like actual people named Karen, and they've been good people. So I'm sure that the name stuck because probably there was one or two people that went viral and they were actually named Karen. You know, the whole "I want to talk to your manager" thing. But
Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle's, I guess, for males.
Yeah.
Well, same thing for Kyle's. I feel bad for them, but that's been the most identifying name, so that's why I'm calling them that. But basically, I'm talking about people that are just coming out in droves and just fucking flipping their shit in public. And the crazy thing is that there's always been the common, "I want to talk to your manager, Karen."
It goes to your debit card directly. It won't let us.
Yeah, and it's already out of my account, and I can show you that you've already taken my money. So you need to give me my cash. And if I end up on YouTube, I will personally sue your ass.
I'm just talking, Melanie.
Then put it back and give me my
I can
fucking
do the same
receipt,
thing with her
bitch.
laughing.
I'm not laughing, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
No, nothing.
You want me to show you on my phone that you are
Please.
That you are what?
laughing?
If we end up on YouTube, I will sue you.
I'm not putting it on YouTube. I'm talking.
If it ends up on
Oh, it's going to end up.
Facebook,
It will not go
I
to
will
Facebook.
sue you.
All right. That is perfectly fine.
Yeah, because you can't record if you don't want to be recorded. And let me tell you, my attorney, I love you. Don't laugh at me.
I'm not.
I hope everyone does your fucking job.
Okay.
Y'all need to.
Okay.
And I'm calling Sears too.
Okay.
What? I don't care what you have. Find you another job.
What's your point?
What's your point?
You need to shut your damn mouth and stay out of it.
I
you
have
big
kids
bitch.
too. To get you another job. A better job. Than being clerk at $10 an hour. Did you get your money?
Bye. You can quit
Bye.
recording me before I knock it out of your
Bitch.
fucking hand.
Bye.
Knock it out of her head.
But this pandemic has done something to people's minds, I think, that it's created almost like in Monster Hunter, a variety of subspecies of Karens. Because if you notice, we now have the anti-mask Karen, obviously. You know, "I will not wear this mask because it's infringing on my rights."
So ma'am, I'm just asking you to please place a face mask on for the protection of everybody in the hotel for the state ordinance that's posted right out front.
Over my protection. And the state ordinances, you want me to give you the code? Civil Code 50.1, that I am disabled and have a reason for why I'm not wearing a mask, and it overrides your policy.
Okay.
The
I'm
only
just
way you can
I'm just
refuse
asking.
service is if I'm not handicapped,
Okay.
which I am.
So we're a hotel. We are allowed to refuse service to anybody. Yes, we are.
You can't go above ADA guidelines.
Yes, we're allowed to refuse service to anyone if you're refusing to wear a mask.
Here.
Please, we're just asking if you can just cover your
No, I'm
face.
not covering my goddamn mouth.
If you can just cover your face,
No.
your mouth,
No.
something so we can check you
No,
in,
not
please.
for you to be comfortable. I have a right.
We have the racist police calling Karen. You know, a person who I don't recognize of color is walking down the street. I'm gonna call the police on them.
You know you're mad. Okay.
glad I was
So
here.
you're not gonna let me
Glad I
in
was here.
to deliver this
We don't
food.
buzz people in.
I have the number.
Yeah, we don't like pictures.
I mean, I'm just.
Don't point that shit at me.
I'm trying to.
Point that fucking.
I have food I have to deliver to somebody, man.
No, don't deliver anything here. We
Well,
don't want you
you're-
delivering.
You're not.
We don't want
You didn't get the
delivering
food.
here. I don't want you. I don't want you here. I
No,
don't want
I'm
you
here.
here at all.
Excuse me, Paul. There's a woman like at the door. My name is
Hello?
Jordan. I'm
Who
working
is
in
this?
place.
Who is
Excuse
this?
me. Can you back
Who is
away
this?
from me, man?
No,
I'm not
this
even.
is my bill. I'm not gonna
I'm
back
just
away
trying
from
to.
you. Who is this? Who's on the speaker? Hello? Yeah, who's on the speaker?
Ma'am, can you back?
Who's speaking? I live here in this building. Who is this?
Your food
Who
is.
is this?
This is Paul Morphus. I'm in 212. I'm getting a Postmates delivery.
A Postmate delivery in 212. 212 where?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, where do you live, sir?
I live in
No,
1595 Kelton Avenue.
Can I,
You live
can I
in it,
do
or
my
you
job,
live?
please?
No.
You're not gonna let me do my.
I'm not letting this man in. Can I bring your food to you? I'm at the entrance
Oh, so
of the
you
building.
want to bring the?
I'm at the entrance to your building.
Who are you? Who is this?
I live here,
All right, so
asshole,
what do you want
and I pay rent here.
from me? So I do too. So what are you asking?
I'm asking you to get out of my building because you don't live here.
I'm a black man. I'm trying to deliver. My mom
I don't care
is
if he's a
my
purple
mom,
man.
I'm
He
working
doesn't
for my
live
mom.
here.
Her name is Anna.
Yeah, I don't care.
My
who
name is
he's
Jordan.
working for.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
care what
deliver
your
your
name
food.
is,
She
sir.
said
I
she
want
doesn't
you out
want
of
me
the
here.
building.
She doesn't want me near here.
3 words Mira Ackland wanted to help spread. She doesn't have a loud voice.
Come on.
And she's 9, so no social media just yet. But she has chalk.
I wrote Black Lives Matter.
In big, bright letters in front of her home.
Black and white people, they should be treated the samely, and I wanted to show my support how much I really care about black people.
Neighbors came out to help us, and we've had mostly all support.
Until she says a neighbor called police.
The officer pulled up and put his window down and said, "It's chalk."
And my whole body was like shaking.
But they didn't stop her.
They said that I should do it more often, and like if it goes away, then I should just do it more and more.
And I said, "You know, honey, as uncomfortable as you feel, people of color feel this fear every day, multiplied times a million." She couldn't understand why people would hate someone just because of their skin color. You know, why would someone...
As we were talking, neighbors became angry.
You don't have to call for backup.
No, honey, that was your mom.
Honey.
Your mom called the police yesterday.
94 years old.
And called the police on a 9-year-old.
Shut the up.
Oh.
Shut your mouth.
They've actually introduced, or they're talking about introducing the Karen Act to fine people who do that shit. We have of course, the classic Facebook, flat earth, wake up sheeple Karen, you know, the one that is always telling how woke they are and how everybody else is a sheep. And it's like, what the hell has happened that has caused this surge of just anger and hatred? I mean, I've been seeing these videos pop up so much more often, and I'm like, God damn, people, cool your shit. I mean, it's just gone nuts. Would you guys
stop it anytime soon?
I mean, I've seen videos like this all the time, even before the pandemic. But it's like lately, I guess it's just these people are just in their house. They don't have. They're festering, percolating in their own anger, and they don't have the ability to talk to people's managers, because when people aren't supposed to be going out, and when they do go out, they tell them to wear their mask. So it goes back to those people who are just looking for something to be outraged about, and just stop being Karens. Speaking of which, is that? Is Karen a slur?
No. I feel, when applied correctly, it's a legitimate criticism.
I feel that they shouldn't use the name Karen. I mean, it's a name, but just to describe an action or people, I feel like it can be offensive in a sense, because there are people out there named Karen that aren't like that,
right,
and they're put into a category. So what if they actually legit have to talk to a manager because of a situation? They're automatically going to be labeled Karen, you're acting like a Karen. I mean, I get it was funny at first, and it is a meme and stuff like that, but I'm not saying it's acceptable, but I can see how it can be offensive.
There are situations where talking to a manager is warranted. Obviously, if you have a problem with an employee who's not doing his job the way he's supposed to, if there's a legitimate thing that needs to be resolved. But I will tell you, and I'm not trying to defend it. I'm not, defending him. And it's like I said, I don't like the name Karen for it either. But I can think of 2 situations where I actually had to speak to a supervisor, but I didn't get mad. I didn't raise my voice. You don't have to freak out. You can be calm, cool, and collected. And let me tell you, as somebody who works in customer service, for anybody out there who thinks that by yelling and screaming you'll get your way more, I can guarantee you that if you're calling in on something and you're yelling and screaming, while they put you on hold, I'm sure they're cursing your name. And if it's somebody in person, while they go, all right, fine, let me go get the manager, while they're going to the back to go, I can guarantee you they're telling their manager or their superior, man, this person is an a-hole or a bitch or whatever. So you'll catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. That saying has a grounding in fact, because if you have a problem and you show a modicum of kindness and say, look, I really just need to get this fixed, and you do something for me, most employees, I think, will be more willing to help you out. Now, there's obviously that reverse side. You got these other employees who don't want to do shit and who just want to do the bare minimum of their job. If that's the case, then yes, you do have to speak to a manager, a supervisor, but you do it calmly, you do it collectedly. You say, listen, sir, no disrespect to you, sir or ma'am, no disrespect to you, but if it's all right with you, I'd like to speak to a superior. I think maybe they might have a better understanding of my problem, or they might be able to assist me better. And that's it. You're not going to get to a manager any quicker by yelling and screaming than you would just doing it nice and calm. As a matter of fact, you're more likely to get kicked out of a store, or a shop or something by yelling and screaming. I've been wanting to rant about this for a while now, and this is my chance. I haven't been in a shoot the shit for 2 weeks, so I wanted to rant about it now. Because
it really has been that long, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And you people who, if you're one of these types of people and you're listening and you're a jerk to employees, just stop it, okay? Just stop it. Don't be a jerk, all right? Everything can be handled with calm civility. And that's my piece.
Yeah, treat others the way you want to be treated. I guarantee you that if you come at somebody and start demanding shit, cussing them out, screaming at them, especially if it's not their fault, they're not going to want to help you in any situation. Whether it's you're screaming for help or something like that, and you're like, "Why aren't you helping me, idiot?" or whatever. I'm not going to go out of my way just to help you with, especially how you're treating, just by that. But it's common sense too. Shoot, how hard is it just to talk to somebody normally? Yeah, you get upset, but still, like you said, you treat others the way. Well, I said that, but I
get it. Yeah,
yeah.
I get what you're saying. I've often wondered what makes a person like that. I've often thought either it's somebody who is just used to getting their way, and they
entitlement.
As a child they would whine and scream until they got their way, and that carried on into their adult lives, that they think that it's going to keep that way. Either that, or they actually work as. Although I think this is probably a lot less likely, because I think if you actually work like this, you're gonna want to treat people nicer. But I was thinking that maybe they work in a job where they take shit all day, all day long. They take shit from other people. So once the whistle blows and the shift is over, then it's my turn now, and I'm gonna go to McDonald's and I'm gonna fucking ruin this entire employee's career. It's just I'm gonna destroy this what's that meme? I'm gonna wreck this man's entire career or whatever. But maybe they take the shit all day long, and they decide that now it's time to dish shit out. I don't know.
Meme is, I'm about to ruin this whole man's career.
Well, that, yeah.
But also, I get if you have a bad day, or you're already in a funk of a mood, you tend to lash out. But I'm guilty of that too. And yes, I've worked in customer care. I work with people daily, so I do get in these moods. But if I lash out, I tend to apologize too. It's look, I'm sorry, I either had a bad day, or it's you don't deserve that. I do apologize for my actions, like, once I collected myself. But still, like, there's a limit. Like, if like, I just feel like if you do something like that, you should have the balls to apologize.
Absolutely, you'll get more respect from it as well, and I guarantee you that most employees as well will reciprocate that apologeticness. They'll be like, you know what, it's all right, sir. I apologize too. I probably could have handled that better. And I speak from, again, point of view of I've been there myself, so I think you're 100% right. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret that you probably don't know about.
What?
So, you guys, I've known Obs for probably close to 30 years. We're probably about 25 years that I've known him now. And you guys probably don't know this. You definitely wouldn't assume it just by hearing him. But he's a Kyle. He really is. You should see him in public, man. He, like, if he doesn't get his way, like, we go to Burger King or something, orders a burger, and they give him pickles and he didn't ask for them, he'll start, like, just raging. Like, he throws drinks in the employees' faces and shit.
He goes wild and out.
He does. You've never seen him. I've been out to eat with this guy. I've been to amusement parks with this guy. You don't want to be in his path, you know?
I don't think he's like that, though.
But who knows him better than me, honestly?
I'm just saying, like, when we went to visit Ring when he was in the hospital, he wasn't pulling out any plugs or anything. He was very...
Well, everything was fine then. I mean,
What are you talking about? What the hell is that? What do we get to this point in the conversation?
No.
I guarantee
I'm
you.
just making a point.
Had a nurse come into the room and just kind of maybe gave Obs the evil eye or something, I guarantee you he would have stood up and been like, "Excuse me? What was that little gesture that I saw from you, man? How dare you? How dare you? I want to talk. Where's the head nurse? Where's your manager? I want to talk." That would have been him. Everything went good when he was at the hospital. I guarantee you, had the slightest thing gone awry, you would have seen a whole different Obs.
This is true.
I don't know what part of his ass he's pulling this out of, but no, I am no Paul. I am insulted. How dare you, sir?
See?
How dare you?
See? He's gonna want to talk to my manager now.
Well, he can't talk to himself, so it'd be kind of weird.
He's not my manager.
I think he is.
I'm the
He's your
manager
boss.
around here.
No. Okay, you may be the manager, but he's the boss.
I'm the owner, founder, CEO, head honcho,
Isn't he
big cheese.
part co-CEO or owner or whatever?
I bought his share out months ago.
Oh.
Anyway, I said my piece. I wanted to.
I know
That
you're
was
not
a
done,
piece?
though.
What?
That was a whole rant.
Well, I said I wanted to rant.
Okay.
There was another rant too.
There was what?
You mentioned another rant too as well.
You did.
I'll get to it later. I'll open the floor. I gotta recharge.
We'd have to keep this under a certain time. Come on, let's get into it.
Well, don't you guys have something?
Not right now.
We'll circle
So-
back. Go ahead, Val.
I've been playing SpongeBob,
How's
Okay.
it going?
and I freaking love it. Like, okay, so I played it like when it first came out on Xbox, and like I played it as a kid, and I thought it was like the hardest game ever. And then while I'm playing it now, I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is so easy, but I die a lot still, so I get so frustrated. And then I ended up buying it on my Switch too, so I have it for my PlayStation 4 and on my Switch.
I see.
Is it for the nostalgia?
Yeah, and it really is a fun game. But I could tell you this now, I really hate playing as Patrick. Patrick really annoys the piss out of me.
Why?
Because it's just like, all he does is like this belly bounce, and he jumps. He could turn the goo.
Are you fat shaming
into-
Patrick?
No, I don't have to fat shame myself. But the
I'm
fact
kidding.
is, like, he can do certain things. Like, he can throw watermelons, and he can turn the goo into ice, and he can, so you can get like the spatulas or socks or gems or whatever that's out. I know they're called other things, but I call them as gems. But the little gems are what you use to open like the clams or to get like more spatulas, whatever little thing that they require you to open. But my favorite character to play is that Sandy, because she can karate chop, she can use her lasso to like as like a helicopter prop, and she does a lot more moves than freaking Patrick. And what I really you want to go on a rant? I'll go on a rant.
Oh,
they're
shit,
under the freaking
Valorant.
water, right? They're under the water. They can't swim. And then freaking when they go into Sandy's house, why does Sandy have to use her hose to fill up their water bowls when they could just get the fucking water from outside? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, then again, it's SpongeBob.
Yes, I was about to say. I'm pretty sure that the nonsensical physics of the world of SpongeBob has been fairly well established. I mean, they have beaches with underwater lakes and oceans in SpongeBob. How the fuck you explain that? What's under that water? Was that crush depth? I mean, what the fuck? Why do they have under the underwater water? That was weird. But to say,
I still watch it and I still enjoy it, but some things just really grind my gears about that show.
It's physics. It's like it's cartoon. It took cartoon physics and warped them even further. So obviously cartoons like Tom and Jerry and shit take real world physics and warp them. SpongeBob took cartoon physics and warped them because, like I said, I've seen them carry torches underwater, which explain that fucking fire burning underwater. They cook underwater. Yep. They have underwater beaches. It's fucking and then the whole thing with the dome, she has a water hose. Where's she getting that? Speaking of which, where the hell does Sandy get her food? Does she like go up to the surface every now and then, or does she catch fish, which makes her a murderer?
Dude, she has a tree. She just farms everything from there.
One tree, that's all she eats?
She eats nuts.
Just from that one tree?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Very fruitful tree.
She had no variety.
My favorite episode of Sandy's when she gets homesick and she sings a song about Texas.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. I just watched that a few days ago.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Is that the song she sang?
No.
Should be though.
That was just my little rant about SpongeBob.
Damn SpongeBob physics! How dare you? Get your shit in order, Nickelodeon. I will tell you, I got one thing I want to say about that game. I have been watching your gameplay, and it looks fun, but I was actually very disappointed. I feel like the creators missed an opportunity, though it probably would have been a lot more work. If games like Cuphead and South Park, The Stick of Truth, and all that have demonstrated anything, it shows that actual cartoon graphics are fully possible and plausible within video games. I think it would have been awesome to see a fully cartoon rendered video game, in the style of the SpongeBob animation in the game rather than 3D characters. Though at the same time, I know that they're coming out with a new SpongeBob series, which is going to be 3D CGI, so I'm wondering if that's what they're leaning towards, but I feel like they missed an opportunity to do that with SpongeBob.
Well, I think the graphics for this game are way better than the graphics on the first game. Well, granted that it's like age difference, graphics weren't as great as they were back then than they are now. But I was looking at images of what the old graphics look like, and it still like blows my mind how far we came. We have come in our game graphics. That if it were the same, if they had kept the graphics the same, I would not be interested in playing it at all. I cannot stand how SpongeBob used to look on the Xbox.
Dang.
Yeah, I just
want it to be said, Mike, if you're listening, you always call me a graphics whore. He calls me a graphics whore. Well, I want to hear what he has to say about that.
There are just some games that I'm really glad that they changed on, like their appearance on, and then this one is one of them. Like of course I love the old school Mario. I think what's 2D or yeah, it's I like that because that I had some good memories with that, but just how some games look to me, I hate it, and I'm just happy that they get the remake.
And you know that when you first played it, you were like, man, this game looks amazing.
Well, I was a kid, and it was my first video game, so I'm just like,
really?
okay, this
SpongeBob
is interesting.
was your first video game?
Oh no.
Oh.
It was Nintendo, Mario.
Oh, okay.
But never beat it. Never saved Peach. She's still Bowser's slut, I guess. I don't know.
Damn.
But even when I play my Crash Bandicoot game, I love it more than I did when it was out on my Xbox. Or was it Xbox 360? I think it was 360. But it looks, to me, I just like it the way it looks now, because I'm just used to how things are now, I guess. I don't know, just it gets better and better and better.
Yeah.
That's good. Ring, you guys got anything?
I don't really got a whole lot today. Kind of quiet.
On the slight Nickelodeon topic, it's like I missed the show Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I love that show.
I don't remember that show.
Ren and Stimpy are gonna get some type of documentary coming out soon.
Not surprising.
Yeah, they're gonna talk about Ren and Stimpy, the history of it, which I remember Ren and Stimpy not being too bad when it was on Nickelodeon, but then they moved it to
Spike.
And man, got raunchy on that.
Hell yeah, dude. It's fucking...
Ren and Stimpy's always been raunchy. You just didn't really realize it until much
Oh,
later.
remember like the Powdered Toast Man and the way he would...
No, but he's talking about fucking sticking tongues in assholes and shit raunchy. I mean, they really went all out.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
think that was always intentional though. Like that was the goal, but they really just couldn't do it.
It was just shock humor. And then that guy, what's his name? Kevin, whatever, is the guy that that made that show. He had a decline. He got sexual harassment charges and just a whole bunch of yeah. He had a Kickstarter for something called Cans with Lids. Or Cans Without Labels, I should say. Cans with Lids, Cans Without Labels, which he needed like $100,000 to raise to make it. It was supposedly gonna take a year, and he actually raised well above, and it didn't get released for like 6 or 7 years, and it turned out to be like a fucking 5-minute short that everybody hated. So his reputation, the main creator behind Ren and Stimpy, really went to shit. I mean, he's kind of, companies aren't touching him with like a 10-foot pole for the shit he's gone into and the crap he's turned out recently.
Yeah.
My mom would not let me. I remember actually when I turned on Ren and Stimpy as a kid, and it wasn't even on that long, like not even 5 minutes. She had me turn it off so quick, and she told me I'm not allowed to watch it, and I didn't get it until I started watching it, like either secretly behind her back or like later on when I was able to understand. And my thing is, holy fucking shit, how was this even allowed on TV or on as a kid's network? Yeah. Even to
this day, there are certain things that slip through that kind of...
That's pretty crazy.
Well, like most recently, Regular Show. I was anybody here watch Regular Show at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Regular Show. I fell out of touch with it, but there were some jokes in there that definitely weren't for kids. I remember one specific episode where Benson, who's like this gumball machine person thing, like anthropomorphic gumball machine, a living sentient one, he was wearing a bath towel and it blew off or something, and his little the lid or like the door for where you get the candies
Yeah.
out, like it lifted up into an erect position. What is that supposed to be? And like it's just, there's little jokes here and there that are like, man, how the fuck did this make it past the censors for kids on Cartoon Network? And not Adult Swim, but actual fucking Cartoon Network. So even to this day, there's some stuff out there that's kind of like I remember fucking Animaniacs had some dirty jokes that I didn't get at the time when I was a kid. It was fucking where Prince showed up, and somebody was saying, oh, we need fingerprints or something like that, and Dot was holding Prince, and she said, okay, if you say so, like fingerprints. It's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, some of our shows that we grew up on aren't. Yeah, they're not very appropriate.
But we turned out perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of
guess.
shows, and speaking of shows that we grew up on, this is my other little rant. I'll keep this brief. It's not as much of a rant as my first thing, but I have actually been binge watching South Park. I grew up on South Park when I was in high school.
Here we go.
What?
I saw this coming from a mile away.
What did you see coming? What?
Randy Marsh.
How the fuck do you see that coming? What?
Keep going. Keep going.
What
Keep
the
going.
fuck? That's
Keep
not
going.
fair.
Keep going.
Well, anyway, I grew up on it, and I remember there was fucking Cartman shirts and apparel and stuff. I mean, South Park was everywhere when I was in high school. My first introduction to South Park was actually because Obbs had bought the South Park movie on DVD, and he lent it to me. You remember that?
I love them.
Yeah.
Well, he had lent it to me, and I actually loved that fucking movie. So the South Park movie is the first thing I saw. When I saw it, I was like, I need to tune into this fucking show. So I actually started watching it, and I loved it. I last fell out of touch with South Park about season 19 or 18 or so. The last thing I had seen was the story arc where they actually, did the Game of Thrones thing. When Game of Thrones was big. That's the last story arc that I saw. And that was years ago. That was back in 2014. And I hadn't followed since then. So for the past few months, I've actually been binge watching, and I'm so far up to the middle of season 21. And I'm still enjoying it, but there are things that I really am not liking that they're doing. And yes, as Ring stated, I hate that the fact that they've basically made Randy Marsh the main character. Even up to this point, which apparently in season 23 is basically dedicated to him, which I haven't even gotten there yet. As of season 21, like every episode has to fucking show what he's doing. If anything, like the kids are kind of being pushed as kind of like a subplot or supporting characters, but almost everything is geared towards him. And I don't like that. I like following the stories of the kids.
I will say this though, you're playing Bitter Longer than Uncut, right?
I'm playing?
Yeah, Bitter Longer. I mean, not Bitter Longer, but fucking Crash of a Hole.
The Stick of Truth.
Yeah, Stick of Truth. Yeah. Did you just stop to remember stop to think how Randy Marsh has a big part in that game for the most part compared to other characters?
I haven't gone there yet.
UFO, he comes up so more times. He does all this important stuff in one way or another because he already was realized as a major character by that point. I mean, it's just a natural progression because they can't keep pushing the kids for all the time. And besides, Randy Marsh is one of the more interesting adult characters regardless.
I don't think he's interesting at all. That's an opinion. I don't think he's interesting at all. He's a drunken, whiny bastard who,
He's the weatherman, right?
Did you get to Integrity Farms yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I know what that is, but I haven't gotten there yet. That's season 23. I think he's a geologist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a wet blanket of a character. If things aren't going his way, he's always whining like, "God, Sharon," and it's like, and it's this just stupid things.
Well, it's Trey and Matt and Trey made that decision, so, and it obviously paid off because people are still watching South Park.
And that's fine. I'm still enjoying it, but I feel like personally, I'd like to see more. Like, I really, really enjoyed the story arc with fucking Cthulhu, and where they actually kind of started to explore a little bit about Kenny's origins and how the reason he doesn't die, and then they just kind of abandoned that. And I'm like, I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see more Kenny episodes. I'd like to see more Butters or Tweak episodes. I hate the fact that they killed off Pip. I actually enjoyed Pip, but they fucking killed him off. Another thing that I will say that I don't like what they're doing, and it's actually pissing me off because it doesn't go, which obviously South Park isn't known for its logic, but I hate what they've done with Cartman. I actually absolutely fucking hate Cartman now, like legitimately hate him.
I get that.
He is he's no longer a jerk. They've taken him from jerk, selfish asshole to straight up villain. Like, he's basically become. And he doesn't do.
Always a villain, though, dude.
Did you see the episode where he fed that guy his own parents?
Well, that was the turning point. That honestly was the turning point. After that episode, that's where he really started. Because up to that episode, he was just a whiny jerk. He was not always the villain. He was just.
He was a straight asshole, though, in the early seasons.
He's an asshole, yes. Asshole is one thing.
Villain.
Think of it like playing Renegade in Mass Effect. In Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, if you're a renegade, you're just kind of a jerk. You're a dick to people.
No, or the hero at all. He was just a straight asshole and a douche.
Listen, I'm not saying...
He caused a lot of the major problems, so therefore he actually is a villain anyway.
But he caused the problems for being a jerk. When you get to the episode with fucking Cthulhu, what boggles my mind and what pisses me off is that he actually gets Cthulhu to send his friends into a fucking nether dimension, and Kenny actually confronts him on this, and he's like, what kind of a person are you? How could you send your own friends to this dimension and this and that? And then after it's done, they still hang out with him. It's like the fucking town should goddamn ostracize him, lock him up or something. I mean, look at what they did to Gideon in Gravity Falls. They locked his punk ass up. I mean, to me it's like fucking Cartman keeps doing all this shit, and you can't say that they're episodic installments because they had gone away from the single episode format to storyline format. So each previous episode feeds into the next one. So he should be fucking locked up. I don't know how people just forget about it, and I absolutely hate him. The episode that really was the turning point for me for Cartman just earning my ire, my hatred, was the episode where he basically caused world peace with that ginger cow, and Kyle knew the truth, and Kyle basically had to be Cartman's slave, otherwise Cartman was going to expose everything, forcing him to like legitimately eat his farts and stuff. And then Kyle had like this enlightenment where he's like, oh, you know, I do it for the good of mankind, and people started calling Kyle a jerk. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? No, man, Cartman's the dick. And at the end of the episode, there was no retribution, no comeuppance. Some episodes do have comeuppance for Cartman. This one had none. And I'm like, why is he still your friend? He's just a poisonous, toxic, evil son of a bitch. And he, in the first episode, if you legitimately go back and watch, he's always been selfish. He's always been a prick. But he wasn't straight up fucking evil. Like, he wasn't. He was just a jerk. He's like one of those people that everybody knows that, man, that guy's just a dick. I don't want to... Hey, how's it going, guy? You know, it's like... Everybody knows one of those like jerk type people, but that's who he was. But he went straight up evil, and I think it happened in the Scott Tenorman episode where he realized the power that he had to manipulate and to wreak havoc. But I hate him now, and I actually used to like Cartman. I used to be a fan of Cartman in the earlier episodes in my younger days, and I fucking straight up hate him now. So I really...
That was your first mistake.
So
was not a person to like at all. Like, he was a strip dick.
Dude, it was the 90s. It was the whole anti-hero, you know, the people with attitudes are hip and yeah, exactly. It's
but
like,
he wasn't though. He was just a straight up asshole. He was always the villain. He always fucked up shit. He always pushed the narrative. He always tried things his way because he just didn't give a fuck. And even when things got resolved at the end of this episode, he still did his shit. Nothing has changed at all. It's just the fact is you're looking at it different. Like, because it's being portrayed as such. Because in fact, he already was portrayed as such.
Look at the South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Yeah.
Tell me one straight up evil thing that he does in that movie. Name one. Just evil. I'm not talking about jerk. I'm talking about straight up evil. What is one thing that?
I mean, being a jerk is equivalent to being a Kyle, so therefore he is evil.
He was. I say the most evilest thing in that movie is when he was calling Kyle's
my bitch. That's a jerk. That's a jerk thing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's a jerk thing. I mean, yeah, calling his mom a bitch is a jerk thing. If they were to make the South Park movie now, the whole movie would be about Cartman basically trying to eradicate his friends somehow to get himself the PlayStation 5 or some shit. You know, that's what the movie would be now. But he didn't do anything inherently, and there are like a lot of episodes where he wasn't inherently evil. He's always been a jerk, but not evil. Not to the point of damn near killing his own friends, which he's done several times. The whole PewDiePie Cartman Bra episodes was him trying to seize power to take over the world and stuff. He wasn't trying to like take over the world and shit in the first few seasons. That's all I'm saying, is that obviously it's character evolution. I don't have anything against character evolution. I'm just saying that I don't like the way he has evolved. But you're saying that he has not evolved, that he's always been the same person. He has not. He has definitely evolved.
I have to agree with you, S, because I used to like Cartman a lot. And then like into the later seasons, especially, there's 2 episodes that I just don't like him in. One, because he just annoys me. It's like when his mom is trying to give him his shots and he's running around the room squealing like a pig, and it was making fun of vaccines pretty much.
I don't think I've gone to that episode yet.
Okay, and I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to spoil
That's
it.
That's okay.
But it's the fact that like he annoys me, and you can see the difference later on into the series, especially once you get to PC Principal and stuff like that. But and the other one is Token. You remember? Do you know who Token is?
Yes, I know who Token is.
Okay. This one is he claims it as self-defense, but he ends up shooting Token.
Right. Yes, I remember that episode. The Black Lives, where it was the what was that? The trial that was going on at the time. That big trial that sparked the initial or some of the earlier protests in, where was it, Michigan? I don't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, he straight up calls Token over, and then when he gets into his circle, he shoots him.
And claims it's self-defense.
Exactly. That's just bullshit. The old Cartman would not do that. And I don't have anything against character evolution. If anything, characters do need to change and evolve. I'm just saying that I don't like what they've done with him, but that's just me. If others do, that's great. And I'm just saying you can't sit here and say that Cartman has always been the same. He's definitely gone more malicious. It's to a degree of nefariousness.
And it's very noticeable later on.
Do you think that has anything to do with the games that have come out? Like, does he have any significant roles in the games as like a villain type character that they kind of like brought that hand in hand with, or is this like completely unrelated?
I have not gone far enough in the games to really find out his motives yet. Right now, he's kind of my main quest giver. He's this wizard king who's basically training me, and we're supposed to be protecting the stick of truth, which was recently stolen, and we got it back. And he's really playing himself out to be like the heroic good guy. He keeps talking about these weird evil elves, and I'm willing to bet that those elves are fucking Stan and Kyle, because we haven't seen them at all yet. All we've seen is Cartman, Kenny, Jimmy, Craig, Clyde, and Token. So I'm pretty sure that Stan and Kyle are going to be leading the other group, but I'm pretty sure that Cartman at some point is going to show himself to be evil in the video games here. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but he's definitely fucking changed. He's definitely a lot more evil. And I think the Scott Tenorman episode was that turning point. He realized, holy shit, I can do shit and get away with it. Which is actually brilliant storytelling. It's brilliant character development. You know, there's things that happen in the universe that influence the character's development and behavior. So it's brilliant storytelling. I just don't like what the fuck they've done with him. But
I'm sorry.
No, that's all.
I do like the fact that they are not killing off Kenny as much.
Yeah, if anything, his is kind of, if they kill him off, it's kind of like a running joke. I would honestly like to see a lot more Kenny episodes. I think Kenny's a very interesting character that they really started to explore some of his personalities. I love how protective he is of his sister. If anything, Kenny is like actually the best character morally. He's like the most vulgar, but he's done time and again very selfless acts. Like the time that he went to Hawaii with Butters because Butters needed to find himself, and he actually just tagged along and went with him. Kenny's just the best character of the bunch. He's a legitimately good guy, heroic, altruistic good guy, and I really would like to see them explore Kenny a lot more. But I mean, it is what it is, but I'm looking forward to finally getting caught up to season 23. So I got 2.5 seasons to go, and of course I'm still playing the Stick of Truth, which afterwards I plan to play the Fractured But Whole. But yeah, just Cartman has earned my hatred. That's all I want to rant about.
Okay, so Timmy is one of my favorite characters, and Butters is my favorite. Yeah, Timmy. And then yeah. I don't know why I love Timmy so much. It just he honestly like makes me giggle every time just his character comes up. And it's not it's not like because he's like handicapped or anything. It's just like he was in was it a metal band?
In Timmy's debut episode, he joined a metal band. Yeah. Like in Timmy and the Lords of Darkness or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And in Jimmy's debut episode, he got in a fight with Timmy, fucking referencing the fight from They Live. You dirty motherfucker. But yeah, they have all those characters they can explore.
Yeah, and then Butters.
Butters.
I think my favorite episode with him in is like when all the girls broke up with their boyfriends, and Butters like, y'all women are snakes in the grass.
I needed to bring that up actually, and I know we're running out of time, but I mean this is the South Park shoot the shit here because I gotta talk about that. I have to. Butters has actually, and I think it's probably off of Cartman's influence, because you notice that if Cartman doesn't have a friend in the world, Butters is always there to be his friend. Hey Eric, you know, Butters is always good to Cartman, man. I think that influence is kind of starting to rub off on him, because I've noticed Butters seems to be kind of souring a little bit. He's starting to stand up for himself a lot more. He's starting to get a little bit more bitter and nihilistic. He's definitely getting angrier as a character, which is warranted after all the shit that they've put him through,
especially in the Hawaiian episode.
But do you remember the episode where the story arc where episode got together with Heidi?
Yes.
Well, Cartman was super stoked on her. He was like, legitimately looked like he had turned over a new leaf. He was happy to have a girlfriend. He was like, you know, she's so smart and funny and blah, blah, blah. And then Butters, if you remember in SpaceX, when they were inside of SpaceX, Butters kind of started whispering in his ear, so to speak, telling him, Cartman, all women are snakes. All women are liars. And Cartman was like, no, not my Heidi. He's like, yeah, look at her. And then he started getting that vision of them being on Mars, with them being a freaking cum farm or whatever the fuck they were doing.
Wow.
But it was Butters that planted those thoughts in his head. And in the middle of season 21, their relationship is off and on, and he's kind of starting to sour her and piss her off. And you know, I've seen clips of what she'll eventually become, but it seems like they were legitimately happy, and Cartman was actually legitimately happy until Butters kind of planted that seed of, you know, their women are snakes and stuff in him. And I'm sure he was bitter because his girlfriend broke up with him, But it's at the same time, that's not something that the old Butters would ever do. Old Butters was super optimistic no matter what. Oh, all right then. He was optimistic and bubbly no matter what the situation, and he still is like that for the most part. But he's got a mean streak now. So, and again, good writing.
I think it's deserved though. Like with all that, like you said, with after all the shit that they put him through, But I think in my opinion, what really happened, caused him to flip that switch was when his girl broke up with him.
Yeah,
I know spoiler alerts and stuff like that if you haven't seen it or
we spoiled everything already.
Yeah. It's just and I felt bad for Butters. I really did because he just looked so happy and
he didn't have nothing to do with shit and what was that? The Canadian girl's like, "I am sorry, Butters, but I have to stand with my sisters."
Yes.
Just gets caught up in something.
So are you still keep up with South Park at all?
Oh, it's been forever. Shit. Probably some of the Attitude Eras when I was watching South Park. It's just been, it's fallen out of my thing. I have no idea what the hell is going on. I know they made these new games and I haven't kept up with the games. With the
game
shows,
is great. I've been loving Still True, which I will start streaming again pretty soon. But yeah, they got away from the episodic format and got into pretty much every season has an arc or a primary antagonist and a problem to solve and whatnot. So, which isn't necessarily bad. I do like that, but I do miss the episodic format on a lot of shows. Pretty much everything nowadays is story arc, which is, like I said, it's enjoyable. But sometimes you just want to watch an episode of something that's compartmentalized into itself. It's like, fuck, I missed the last 3 episodes. I can't watch this episode until I watch those 3. Sometimes you just want to tune in, watch an episode. But again, I'm old-fashioned because, like Ring has pointed out in the past, I like to be able to turn on a game and not some games not have leveling and all this stuff. I like to just kind of get in and play the game, Mario Brothers, TFC something, but nowadays everything is leveling and gearing up and all that, which is it's just the way things are. But call me old-fashioned, call me grandpa.
Settle down.
Those are my rants today, the Karen and South Park rant.
Do you have anything you want to add to this before we wrap it up?
Unrelated to Karen's or South Park. Gaming news.
We're a gaming channel, aren't we?
Yes.
Speaking of gaming channel, go ahead.
Yes, a big brouhaha that Xbox is getting rid of their yearly subscription, that they're no longer going to be selling that. So there's talks that rumor has it supposedly that Xbox Live may be free. That's one thing that a source is saying, that they're no longer they're going to be charging for a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription, whatever you want to call it. Or there's another option because they have another subscription service where you can play like all their old games and whatever live service.
Yes.
And they're saying that they might just kind of lump it into that, where it's not going to be a standalone monthly internet subscription service or yearly, whatever you want to call it, but they're going to lump it into that, or if they're just going to make it free, which, again, with the console war going on between mainly them and PlayStation, Nintendo's it's they're their own entity, but it's mainly back and forth with Xbox and PlayStation. PC. Well, yeah, but it's PC. But
PC Master Race.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a wait and see, since both of them are having 2 big releases. So it's kind of they're waiting for the other to show their cards before the other reacts. So curious where they're going with this and how PlayStation's going to respond, because if PlayStation or Xbox is not going to do an annual subscription, or depending on how they're going to modify it, how is PlayStation going to react? So it's a lot of wait and see.
I think I forgot the name of what they were talking about, because we I bought the subscription for the Xbox One that I have, and with that subscription, you can play up to their free games. It's similar to like PlayStation Plus, but with the subscription, like I have all the Gears of War games. Like you can, as long as you have the memory on your not your PlayStation, sorry, on your Xbox, you should be able to play the games. And they have it up to like where you can do like a month, 4 months, and I think they have a year. And the year probably costs the same amount like as a yearly subscription. So it's like nothing really changed there. It's just you gotta have a lot of time on your hands in order to play with all the games you can get.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm talking about us being a gaming channel. Just a reminder to all those who like to listen to our podcast or to the shit, whatever the hell we're gonna call it now. Just a reminder that we are now to be actually streaming more consistently on Twitch. Me or Val, mostly me though, will be streaming, and you can see us on twitch.tv twitch.tv/oddsandgaming, and there you'll find us. And please follow us and all that good stuff. Just
link in the description below.
Yep.
And we do have a Facebook page just in case for those who are just tuning in with us. And of course, we have a YouTube channel as well.
Obs runs the Facebook. So if you're a fan of Obs, go visit the Facebook.
Facebook.com/oddsandendgaming.
And coming very, very soon, an Odds and Ends merchandise shop. It'll be something real small time, but if you're actually a fan.
Odds and Ends only. Hello, you're missing the best.
It's an Odds and Ends gaming shop where there will be some subsidiary merchandise available. Patent pending, all rights reserved. Such as, of course, Odds and Ends Gaming, as well as X7 and Battle Pals.
And Val & Pals.
Yeah, those
if
guys.
you're a fan of Val & Pals, you can get, and especially if you're wearing maternity clothes, if you're expecting, they have maternity clothes as well, or because we're required to wear face masks, there are face masks there.
You can
if you want more of a comfort, they have undergarments.
I was about to say, yeah, you can get yourself
butt floss and everything.
You can get yourself a limited edition Val & Pals pink ladies brief.
Briefs are cute, not the butt floss.
Bringing back an old classic because it actually is something that was formerly available on the X7 store when we had that. The X7 thong is back. So whoever wants, I'll be getting that for. I'll be getting that for Obs for Christmas.
Butt floss?
The X7 thong. He's been wanting one.
What?
I think you secretly want one.
No.
Yes.
I think that about does it, no?
Thanks for tuning in. And remember to like and share, or just leave a comment down below if you want. Maybe ask us questions and we'll answer on our next podcast. Or when Val & Pals take over.
Give me something to rant about, I'll rant about it.
He's good at ranting, as you heard.
Anti-mask sons of bitches. How hard it is to wear a mask!
No.
Fucking hard it is.
Hey, reel it in, pal. Reel it in. Look what y'all started.
Alright, I think we're done, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Settle down.
Alright.
Settle up.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.